What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to this Forgo. And the Patch Notes have arrived for the upcoming update regarding Chizuru and Lady Goenitz. So let's check out these Patch Note guides and see what all entails in these babies. Let's check this out. So we're getting these two girls, obviously, right? And lo and behold, they're both balanced TIE fighters, and we have one red and one yellow. Now, this is actually really amazing because a lot of us recently just got Pai Chen, who buffs up yellow and red fighters. And actually, if you have Sarah and you took Sarah to A5, then she might be really, really good for Chizuru because Chizuru is a red. So this is really, really great, guys. The girls look wonderful. Can't wait to pull for these characters, but this is pretty exciting. I know some people might feel some kind of way about them both being balanced TIE fighters, but guys, in Kofas, it really doesn't matter if characters are attack, defense, and balance. It doesn't matter. We've seen the strongest characters in the game be any type before. It just really depends on their buffs or kits, how many hits they're actually doing. All these things come into play as far as how much damage they actually do. So I'm not worried about that at all. I'm pretty sure they're going to be pretty freaking OP. So we scroll down here, guys, and we see the 3PG for Lady Goenitz, which looks wonderful. Chizuru, yep. And I love this 3PG. This is so gorgeous. Oh my God. And look at this. This is like a really funny looking retro set. I'm very interested to see if this set's going to be really good for like a lot of EX fighters, kind of like what the Athena set was, or if it's just going to be specifically good for Chizuru and Lady Goenitz, right? I mean, those sets are all good for those particular characters, but whenever we get sets that are good for every character in the game, or at least all the EX characters, or most of them, that's when it's really worth going for, because as we all know, damage dealers end up, getting surpassed pretty much in the next banner. So then we scroll down here, guys, and we got the back again set, right? And then, of course, the same old typical things that we come to expect from the 3PGs. Now, here's something that's pretty interesting, guys, and this is going to give us a little bit of an indication of what these characters might be used for. So Lady Goenitz's 3PG will give her 15% critical rate, which is an indication that she's going to be a massive damage dealer. And then Chizuru's actually gives increased critical damage of all teammates, including self, by 15% for 10 seconds after using. So what this leads you to believe is more than likely that Chizuru is going to have some kind of support EX core that's going to help everybody out, especially since her 3PG is going to give everybody critical damage for 15 seconds, which is going to make it very easy to use her 3PG, switch to another character, and use them as a damage dealer. Now, I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but let me throw out a little something, guys. Anytime we get a support character, and anytime they're a very, very good support, they last the test of time. Damage dealers pretty much get forgotten about within 2 months, 3 months. I mean, not by me, but by a lot of players. They just get forgotten about, right? Because we're already getting new players. New characters. They're just so much stronger. So whenever we get really, really good supports, they really do last forever, man. They're just awesome. Even Athena, to this day, who's been in this game for, like a year, is still a really amazing character to have. And that's why I told everybody to try to pull for Pai Chen before. And Chizuru might be in the same situation, right? I mean, I hope she's strong. I hope she's kind of like Pai Chen, where she has a really ridiculous amount of damage. At least at a minimum, she really deserves it. She's a Sacred Treasure character and have really good support passes to buff up your other characters. That would be pretty damn insane. I mean, if they really wanted to go over the top, they can make her a better support than what Pai Chen was. Pai Chen gives 300% increased attack, 100% increase all damage received, right? They could do the same thing for Chizuru, but maybe give her a higher attack buff for everybody. You just never know what Neverall's going to do, guys. You really don't. And then we scroll down here, and of course, we have the summons for the ladies, right? No big deal here, the 3PGs. And then we get down into the Aegis Challenge, where we're going to have a new game mode. So the Trojan Horse boss, which has become stronger with the power of the Phantom Gate, appears for a certain period of time. You can collect cachet nuts, items, pretty funny, through the various content plays to strengthen the synchronization rate of fighters selected in the Aegis system and fight against the Trojan Horse. Aegis challenges content that progresses on a specific cycle. So this is only going to last for so long. This is going to switch up, and it looks like we're probably going to start it all over. And then you guys can see kind of what it looks like here. We're going to dive more into this when it actually shows up in the game, because sometimes when you read things, it can be a little bit misleading, or maybe they don't throw out exactly all the details, but it says it is a shield that will protect the system from the Phantom Gate and can strengthen the synchronization of selected fighters to fight against the Trojan Horse. So synchronization enhanced. You can strengthen the synchronization of selected fighters by consuming cachet nuts, obtained through various content. So evidently we're going to be trying to get us some nuts. And if you enhance synchronization, the momentum and overpower effect values will increase, and enhanced buff will be acquired if the fighter synchronization rate increases. So momentum, this stat is necessary to effectively inflict damage on opponents with overpower. All right, so I guess the more momentum we have, the more damage we can do when they have overpower. And then overpower is the higher the overpower stat is, the less damage will be received from the Trojan horse. So the more overpower we have, the less damage we're actually going to take, if I'm reading this correctly. And then you guys can take a look at the cache nuts here, right? And we scroll down here. It says where to acquire these babies. So we're going to be acquiring these nuts from the Event Dungeon, the Epic Event Dungeon, Halls of Elements, Soul Quest, and then the EX Battle Card Summon Mileage Reward as well. All right, so if you're going to be pulling for these characters, you're going to be getting these. We're going to see how valuable this actually is and how much it's actually going to help us in our progression against the new event that we're going to be fighting off, right? And then cache nuts can be attained at a low probability as a reward for clearing the rush dungeon. So you don't have a high chance of getting them in the rush dungeon, but you can get them. The probability of acquiring cache nuts is not affected by the rush dungeon bonus rate according to specific fighter battle card information, which means that, whether you're doing the rush dungeon 1, 2, or 3, it's going to be pretty much the same rate up for the cache nuts. And then the synchronization reset, you can reset all fighter synchronization rates by using the Aegis 2305 synchronization rate reset. That's crazy. That's a mouthful item. This item will be given only once when the Aegis Challenge Mecha Goenitz opens, okay? And then at the end of the Aegis system cycle, the momentum overpower values enhanced through the Aegis system will be reset. So again, this is going to probably reset every single week, more than likely. That the same as what this is, right? So while the Aegis system is going on, if I'm reading this correctly, we're going to be acquiring some buffs through that system for this game mode right here against good old Goenitz. And once this resets, then the Aegis system is going to reset. We're going to just start all over. At least that's how I'm reading it. And it says the fighters selected by the Aegis system change and recycle. Okay, so we're going to be using different fighters than that, just like what we would normally in these events. All right, so AP's challenge Mecha Goenitz, which can be played up to 2 times the teams, will be added. Depending on the amount of cumulative damage, you can play rewards and cumulative record rewards. Yeah, we know we're pretty familiar with this. And then you guys see the Omen of the End, and they have Overlord here as well, right? So Omen of the End, this is a buff obtained when the boss becomes a giant. When the effect of Omen of the End reaches a maximum of 20 stacks, it casts blah, 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 which deals powerful damage. And Omen of the End increases by 5 stacks when using the finisher skill on a boss in the Omen of the End state. So it sounds like we're going to be needing to use our 3 PGs whenever the Omen of the End is in effect to really do a bunch of damage. And then Overload, when Omen of the End reaches the maximum stack, which one of the all continuous damage effects upon up to the maximum stack is switched to Overload state. When in Overload, the effect of Omen of the End will be removed and the boss and all the fighters will be in the groggy state, which definitely isn't good because that means we won't be able to do any of our attacks. So that's something we have to be very careful of. And then when the boss is hit by a finisher's skill while in groggy state, the duration of the groggy and overload increases. After the groggy state is over, the giant state of the boss will end. Aegis system bonus for fighters, the duration of the groggy is reduced according to the Aegis system synchronization rate. So this is going to be a big reason why we're going to be playing the Aegis system, to decrease that groggy state, because if we're groggy, we can't be doing attacks, we can't be doing damage, we can't build a 3PG and do our 3PG as we read earlier, where we're going to actually be able to do more damage against Mecha Goenitz in order to get better rewards, right? You guys can see login bonus. There's an EX generic memory right there. It looks like we're going to have to get up to 11,000 points to be able to acquire. Of course, we're going to have all the elemental advantages in the new event as well. And then you guys can take a look at the stones, increase Extreme Fighters Starlight and Darkness. So right there tells you the kind of dots that these girls are going to have. We're going to have Starlight and Darkness, pretty much betting that Darkness is going to be for Lady Goenitz and Starlight's going to be for Chizuru, right? And then Extreme increases Blast skills, which is also an indication that maybe they have a lot of Blast skills in their kits. And then we have increased attack, when Extreme Fire lands a critical hit. And we have Moon and Star Shaped Stones, critical damage, critical rate. Nothing really better, great there. And then we scroll down here, guys, and we just have a bunch of things that, we don't really need to get into at this point. All right, we're going to have some summon tickets, some things that we can buy. We'll talk about all that when it shows up, guys. Pretty much the same old run-of-the-mill stuff that we normally come to expect. So that's pretty much it, man. I'm really, really excited for these girls to see, exactly how good they're actually going to be. I'm really hoping that Chizuru will be just a really, really strong character on top of maybe being a really good support. And of course, we want Lady Goenitz to be OP as well, which I'm pretty much expecting, guys. I really do love these cards, and this is pretty funny looking stuff. But the girls look absolutely amazing, guys, and I cannot wait to check them out whenever we get the updates. So guys, let me know what you think about everything that we talked about today. And are you excited for Lady Goenitz and Chizuru? And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GW7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See everybody. Take care.